Continuing in my section on answering Dr Zakir Naik on allegedly the mathematical errors in the Bible, I now take a look at the different numbers given in parts of the Bible for the fighting men that King David had requested be counted. The discrepancies between 2 Samuel 24 verse 9 and 1 Chronicles 21 verse 5. The first says that there was 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword in Israel and 500,000 in Judah, while the second account says there was 1.1 million in Israel and 470,000 in Judah. Let us see what reasons we can find for these different numbers. To begin, let us watch a short extract of Dr Naik on this subject.
Further, if we read, it's mentioned in the Bible in 2 Samuel chapter number 24, verse number 9, that the people that were involved in the battlefield, it gives a list of those people in 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse number 9, and it says that people that took part, 800,000 of the men of Israel took part, and 500,000 of the men of Judah. Same, if you see other places, 1 Chronicle chapter 21, verse number 5, it says that 1,100,000 people took part in the battlefield from the men of Israel, and 10,460 men took part of Judah. Was it 800,000 people who took part from the men of Israel, or was it 1,100,000? Was it 5 lakh people of Judah that took part, or 10,460? A clear-cut contradiction.
There are a number of explanations put forward for these discrepancies, but to me there are two that I particularly believe make a lot of sense. The first is the fact that Joab, the general who did the counting, didn't have his heart in it, so did a half-hearted job, and also because David, who knew he was in the wrong, repented of doing it, so good records were not kept of the exact amount. More on this later. There is another reason that is appealing, and it is as follows. Regarding the 800,000 from Kings and 1,100,000 from Chronicles is a difference of 300,000. Now 1 Chronicles 27 tells us that David already had a standing army of 288,000, and it's reasonable that one account included these in with the fighting men, that would be Chronicles, and the other didn't, and that would be Kings. Now I see that the numbers do not add up to 1.1 million, but rather are 12,000 short. Actually, it would be 36,000 short, but rounding 1,000, 64,000 to 1,000 is not a big stretch. I don't know about you, but these big numbers I'm throwing around are getting really confusing, so let's have a look at it in numbers. 1.1 million is 1, 1 and 5 zeros, while our more precise figure is 1, 0, 6, 4 and 3 zeros. I think you can see why you would round it up. By the way, the reason I said we would be 36,000 short and not 12,000 is because the aforementioned 288,000 standing army would have had 24,000 from the tribe of Judah, so would not have been counted in the results for Israel. Hope you are following this so far. So what about the 500,000 from Kings and the 470,000 from Chronicles that are numbered for Judah? Again, I think this is just a case of a bit of rounding up. I feel that the important issue here for all the numbers quoted is that the people recording them in the first place did so in a very half-hearted manner. Normally, people keeping accounts do so in a very precise manner, just as accountants do today. But in this case, if we read the full account, we see that David was committing a sin by counting the fighting men, and even Joab, his commander, could see that. And Joab was not the most spiritual of men. 2 Chronicles 27 verse 24 says this, that Joab, son of Zerubbabel, began to count the men, but did not finish. God's wrath came on Israel on account of this numbering, and the number was not entered into the book of the annals of King David. So we see from this evidence that the numbers quoted on this occasion are in effect just estimates. I want to end this video the way I ended my last on the theme of Dr Naik. If Christians and Jews have the habit of corrupting God's word, as apologists like Naik would have us believe, then why didn't they on this occasion as well? The differences have been known about probably since the time of the writing of the passages. So why were they never changed to bring them into alignment, if in fact the scribes thought it a small matter to change God's word? I think we all know the answer, because the scribes doing the copying always had too much fear of the Lord to dare touch God's holy word. So as always, thanks for listening. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment. And on the subject of comments, I would like to comment that it is not my habit to remove comments, even if they are rather insulting. I'm not afraid of a bit of free speech. So, if your comment does not appear, it's probably a YouTube action. So on that note, goodbye, and may God bless you as you search for the truth.